ओम नमो भगवते
आप लोग
वासुदेवाय।
वीडियो
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैवं नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वतीति नामिने श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Thank you. That was nice. So happy Kartik, everyone.
Happy Kartik.
Wish you all an auspicious and glorious Kartik month. The most wonderful month. My favorite month. So how is it? Have you all taken your vratas and are you all ready to dive into bhakti this month? Yes? All vratas done, all sankalpas done. That's good. That's good. Okay, who's glorifying today?
Neha.
Wonderful. Ready when you are, Neha?
All right. So it's very, very simple. It's not very complicated, doesn't have a lot of words or anything. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gauranga. My heart is filled with gratitude for Srimati Radha Rani, Shri Krishna, our dear Srila Prabhupada, and for the association of devotees. They together add so much value to my life and give me the chance to discover the real purpose of life. I am grateful to my father, who though was not a spiritual person, but his values were better than someone practicing spirituality. He led us by example and taught us humility and selflessness. I am grateful to my mother, who took us to Vrindavan each year, which helped me to love Krishan Kathas. I am grateful to Vishaka Mataji for guiding me on my journey of bhakti. I am grateful to Supriya Mataji for inspiring lectures which are filled with examples which are extremely engaging and relatable. I am grateful to Madhu and Shafali, my childhood friends who helped me cultivate interest in understanding Krishna consciousness despite of my best efforts to mock them down. Finally, I would like to share my offering for Srila Prabhupada that I wrote some time back. Dear Srila Prabhupada, I am a new devotee and I'm writing to you for the very first time. I called up my friend and asked her about the format. So please forgive me if some of the format seems copied or is not as per the standard that you are used to. The line Om Agyana Tirandhasya seems relevant in my life. Before I started practice, I was ignorant that my only desire was to fulfill my material needs, though I still crave to fulfill them. But I also understand the need to grow spiritually. However, I was attracted to solutions which astrology and some other superstitions were offering. But when I started reading Bhagavad Gita, I found all the answers in it. Our Shastras are the biggest teachers. They teach us humility, they teach us patience and devotion, which in practice is the solution to all our problems in daily life. I will always be in debt to you for bringing these wonderful teachings to our home. Your eternal servant, Neha. Thank you.
Jay, that was so wonderful. Simplicity is always wonderful. Even Srila Prabhupada said all Vaishnavas should be simple. Yeah, ornament is simplicity. Very nice, very deep. And Veggie is here. Veggie, I heard your glorification too. It was very nice and very touching. Lots of things I came to know about you through that, which was very nice. And Neha, it was so wonderful. Your journey is so inspiring. I mean, a little glimpse of what you have been through, you've told us through your glorification, which is very inspiring. So we should all inspire each other. Yeah, we should be inspired by the acharyas and each other also. So nice, very nice. So let's get back to, let's dive into Bhagavatam. Where did we stop? Anyone can tell me?
21.
21.
So we did till 21. Anyone can give me a short one point. All of you can, whoever can remember, can what we did last week.
Begin, eh?
We did 9 steps of progress of bhakti in a verse from 16 to 20.
Yes, correct. Anyone remembers what those steps are?
Yes.
Shraddha,
Ardha
Shraddha, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan
Okay.
Kriya.
Okay,
Oh.
someone else.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Anarth,
An-
Anarth, Nivratti,
Very nice.
Nivratti, Nishtha, Ruchi,
Someone else.
then
Ah,
Asakti
Bhav,
mm,
and Bhav and Prem.
Ruchi,
Very
Ruchi.
nice. Excellent.
Mataji, then we discuss about 2 types of Bhagavat, Book Bhagavat and Bhakta Bhagavat.
Yes. So who is more important?
Bhakta Bhagavat,
Bhakta Bhagavad.
Both.
both.
That was a trick question. Both are equally important. One without the other it's not possible. Yeah, you can't have a person Bhagavat who doesn't bring with him the book Bhagavat. That's where you always rely on Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. Guru should be there, Sadhu should be there, but Shastra should also be there. If there is only Shastra and there's no Guru and there's no Sadhu, then you will start speculating. So both are equally important. Both have the highest place, but both are equally important. So you must choose well, right? Any idea if Vishaka Mataji is back?
Yes, I
No,
think she's back. I'll
she's
check with her.
No worries. So let's continue. And what else? Anything else? Oh, that's it. Any other point we missed out? So what is the conclusion? Again. I mean, you don't have to look at your notes. What did you understand from this process? You have to apply what you learned, right? You don't have to look at notes. What have you learned from last class?
That service and association is very, very important. And if you do service and if you do serve Vaishnavas, then you can skip these stages of bhakti, like Narad Muni did.
No, you can't skip any stage, Neha. You cannot skip any stage.
But Narad
Narad
Muni,
went through all these stages. He's an example, his life is an example of all these stages. He did not skip any stage. He went through all the stages. That was the example was given in the purport also, that he went through all these stages. From Shraddha to Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha is Guru Ashray. He took Ashray of those sages who came. And when he took Ashray, then they inculcated Bhajana Kriya in him. They taught him Bhajana Kriya. Then with Anartha Nivriti, and then Asakti, Ruchi, Bhav, Prem, everything came. He didn't skip, you cannot skip any stage in this process. What you're talking about is the yoga ladder, where you can skip from Karma Kand, you can go straight to Bhakti Yoga. You don't need to do Ashtanga, you don't need to do Jnana. You can skip. But in this stage, in this process of Bhakti, we all will go through all these stages. Whether it is you or whether it is any person, any exalted person, everyone has to go through these stages, the 9 process of Bhakti. Yeah. So Narad Muni's example was given that he gone, and we will see it in chapter 6. What was his journey? We will see it. Yeah. And how in the body, in his body, he got bhava, and then in the next body, he got prema. So that is even us. In this body, you cannot get prema. You have to take a birth again to get prema. But reaching bhav itself is very difficult. Reaching asakti itself is very exalted. Nishtha, asakti is itself very exalted. So even if you reach that, you're perfected. Bhav will come. And that too, in bhava, there are different stages of bhav. Once you start, have you all done Nectar of Devotion? You all are doing instruction now, right? Upadesh Amrit.
Yes.
Oh. So even in Upadesh Amrit, which verse are you all now?
Second verse. Second we completed.
Oh, second. Okay. Okay. The Shadbir Bhakti Vinashyati. Yeah. What destroys Bhakti, right? You all did that. Six things which destroy your Bhakti. Yeah. So even in the later, there are 18 verses. The last verses talk about what gives you bhav and prem. You will come to that. But NOD will give you in detail. In bhav also, there are different stages of bhav. And then prem, you cannot get in this body. You have to take a new birth for that. And what is that birth? You will be born in one of the Prakat Leelas, where the Lord, in one of the universes, where the Lord is performing his Prakat Leela. So you all know the difference between Prakat and Aprakat Leela? Yes? So Prakat Leela is when he has his Leelas in the material world, where he shows us his. Aprakat Leela are the eternal ones in the spiritual world. Aprakat. Prakat is what he, like in Bhauma, yeah, what he shows us in the material world. That's Prakat. Aprakat is eternally what's happening in the spiritual world. So then, where will you be born? You will be born in one of those places where he's performing his Prakat Leela. There's so many universes, right? In any one of those universes, wherever he's currently performing his Prakat Leela, you will be born there and you will be serving him. And then after that, along with all the Vrajavasis, then you will go back to Goloka. You'll go to the eternal world, back to your constitutional position, whatever your Swarupa is. So that comes, Prema is that. So you have to take a birth in. Of course, you will take one more birth. You can't go directly to the eternal world. No one. When Krishna says that Yad Gatvana Nivartante Tad Dhama Paramam Mama, you will go back to his dham, but after following these steps. So you will take birth in a Prakat Leela, and then you will go to the Aprakat Leela. So that's how it is. So these stages can never be skipped, Neha? These are very, very important. See, all these things, you must be very pakka about these facts, these tattvas. because this is what helps you. And you can also gauge in yourself that in this 9 processes, in this steps of bhakti, progress of bhakti, in which stage you are. We are all in the first 3-4 stages, right? We all in that. We are doing Shraddha to hai, forget Shraddha. We are in Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti and Nishtha. The Nishtha has to become firm now. So, Bhajana Kriya and Sadhu Sangha is very important for Anartha Nivritti. If your sadhana is strong, Anartha Nivritti will automatically happen. So, we are all in this stage. And then we will progress. You will know internally where you stand, how much you need to progress. And the more Anartha Nivritti happens, what happens? So, poison comes out, right? Any manthan which happens, I know Vishaka always likes to use the word manthan, right? So, any manthan which happens, poison comes out. So, before the sweetness comes, poison has to come. That's also with us. So, Anartha Nivritti first brings out all the poison so that your heart is ready for the sweetness of bhava and prema. So, you should not be deterred by problems in Krishna consciousness. You should not be worried, you should not be scared, you should not be depressed, you should not run away, because it happens to all of us. Whatever we have accumulated over so many past million lives is all coming out now. And now, since we are in Krishna consciousness, we are not in touch with the outside karmis, right? So when we go through this Anartha Nivritti, it happens with a bhakt. So you should not think that how can a devotee treat me like this? How can this happen? That person is also a devotee. I am also a devotee. How does it happen? No, because you're now in touch. It is your karma. You have to burn your karma. If you are in touch with karmis, if you're in touch with material minded people, then you burn your karma through them. But now you're not in touch with them, but your karma has to burn. So it will come to you through a devotee. So they are also burning their karma, we are also burning our karma. So you should not be deterred. You should be undeterred. You should always keep your goal, your eyes on the goal, and that's Krishna, Radha and Krishna. Shri Radha, Shyam Sundar. Yeah. So this Anartha Nivritti is a very important stage. Very important. When Anartha Nivritti happens, you want to give up. You should not give up. Yeah, you should swallow that poison. You should endure that poison. And you should wait for the sweetness, which will come. Then your nishtha is stronger. Yeah. So that's why what is important is sadhu sangha. Devotees are the ones who will give you problems also, but devotees are the ones who will support you also. Yeah, you will I'm telling you, you will have problems with devotees, because we are all, that devotee is also burning the karma, we are also burning our karma. So you should not be deterred. You should just move forward. And not keep any grudges also. You should understand that this is Krishna's doing. He is doing it for you. So therefore, 22 is, now we did 21 or not? We've done.
Yes.
So 22. Yeah. So I'll just open this page. Yeah, 20. Let me just quickly share. Can I share? Am I able to share?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So just quickly reading 21. Where is 21? Vidyate hridaya grantish chidhyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani drishta evatmanishvari. Thus the knot in the heart is pierced and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitive actions is terminated when one sees the self as master. So the knot, so there are different types of knots also. One knot is ignorance, another knot is doubts. So if you have doubts, you must again get it cleared. Why? Because if it's a knot in your heart, then it's a misgiving and it leads to aparadh. So you must always get your doubts cleared. Cut it to pieces with knowledge. Yeah. So today we'll move on to 22. Someone can repeat after me. Ato vai kavayo nityam.
Ato vai kavayo nityam
Bhaktim paramaya muda.
bhaktim paramaya muda
Vasudeve bhagavati.
vasudeve bhagavati
Kurvantyatma prasadanim.
kurvantyatma prasadanim.
Please read the translation also.
Sure. Certainly, therefore, since time immemorial, all transcendentalists have been rendering devotional service to Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, with great delight, because such devotional service is enlivening to the self.
Yes. So again, something is being established here, that bhakti is not something concocted. A lot of people say, oh, all this Srila Prabhupada concocted. No. Since time immemorial, all transcendentalists have been rendering devotional service to Krishna with great delight. The great susukham kartum avyayam, great delight. The speciality of devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, is specifically mentioned herein. Lord Shri Krishna is Swayam Rupa personality of Godhead, and all other forms of Godhead beginning from Shri Baladev, Sankarshan, Vasudev, Anirudh, Pradyumna, Narayan, and extending to the Purusha avatars, Guna avatars, Leela avatars, Yuga avatars, and many other thousands of manifestations of the personality of Godhead, our Lord Shri Krishna's plenary portions and integrated parts. Very important. Please understand that Lord Shri Krishna, that is Shyam Sundar, two-handed Lord is Swayam Rupa Bhagavan. From Swayam Rupa Bhagavan come all the other expansions. Some are plenary portions, some are portions of the portions. You will learn this in the next chapter where all the list is given. So there are 6 categories of avatars. Yes, some are mentioned over here. Anybody knows? Can you give me the list? What is mentioned here? What are the categories of avatars?
Purusha avatar, Guna avatars, Leela avatars, and Yuga avatars.
Okay, there are 2 more avatars. Who knows? There are total 6 categories. Here 4 are given. Think and tell me 2 more.
Shaktavesha avatar.
Exactly, very good. And one more. Think, Hema. Manvanta avatar. Manvantara avatar. Yeah. Purusha, Guna, Leela, Yuga, Manvantara, and Shaktyavesh. These are the 6 categories. Does Krishna fall into any of these categories? That is Swayam Rupa. Nandana. No. Why? Because he is the avatari. These are all avatars. Comes from Swayam Rupa Krishna. We do not say anyone else is Swayam Rupa. Everyone comes from Krishna.
Mataji,
Yes.
what was the 6th one after Manvantara avatar?
Shaktya Vesha. Shakti Avesha becomes Shaktya Vesha. Like Srila Prabhupada is Shaktya Vesha. So when the Lord infuses his Shakti, his potency into an avatar, it is Shakti Avesh avatar. Yeah. So the Shakti Avesh also have two categories. One is Vishnu Tattva and one is Jiva Tattva. Like Lord Parshuram is a Shakti Avesh avatar of the Lord. But he is a Vishnu Tattva. He is not a Jiva Tattva. Srila Prabhupada is the Shakti Avesh avatar of the Lord, but he is Jiva Tattva. Yeah, now Shakti Avesh does not mean he infuses only some of his Shakti, not all. For example, Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is also Shakti Avesh avatar of the Lord, Vishnu Tattva. But what is the potency he was empowered with? Vyasadeva?
Pastimes of Lord Krishna and knowledge.
Knowledge. Yeah, knowledge. Yeah. But Parshuram, more of what? I mean, see, they will have everything, but more of what?
Strength or
Yes, strength, Shakti, valor. Yeah,
valor.
courage. Yeah, so like that. But all of them, if needed, can also use the other power. It's not that Parshuram did not have knowledge or Parshuram did not have beauty, but his Leela was meant to show his valor, to showcase his valor. Right? Like Lord Ram is a Leela avatar. He's also a plenary portion, right? So there are many categories, but Lord Ram, he had all the qualities of Sri Krishna. But when you ever see Lord Ram playing the flute? No, only Shyam Sundar plays the flute, right? Why? Not that Lord Ram cannot play the flute. If he picked up, he can play it. He can play it if his devotee wants. Lord Nrsimhadev. But he won't, no, because he's come for a certain purpose. So therefore here, what is being established? That Krishna is Swayam Rupa, right? Therefore, Lord Sri Krishna is the original form of Godhead, and he is the last word in transcendence. Thus, he is more attractive to the higher transcendentalists who participate in the eternal pastimes of the Lord. So all transcendentalists, all bhakti yogas aspire to serve Lord Krishna. In forms of personality of Godhead other than Sri Krishna and Baladev, there is no facility for intimate personal contact as in the transcendental pastimes of the Lord at Vrajabhumi. Shri Vrajabhumi is the topmost in Mathura. And it's only in this pastime that we can participate in the eternal pastimes. In Lord Ram's pastimes, you cannot, right? Lord Ram was the king of Ayodhya, and he was Ekapati Patni Vrata, right? You cannot participate. Nrsimhadev, anybody wants to participate in Nrsimhadev's pastime? No. What will we be? What part will we play? So it's better to keep away. Any of the Matsya pastime, anybody wants to be a fish and swim with Matsya? No, it's the inundation. He comes at the time of inundation. What about Lord Varaha? Would you want to drown when Bhumi Devi is under the ocean? No, there is no facility other than in this pastime. It's only this, and that's why everybody aspire. And it's only in this pastime that everyone has a personal role to play. And it's a very, very intimate, non-formal role. It's not in Aishwarya Bhav, it is in Madhurya Bhav. And which is the other one after this that someone can intimately serve the Lord very closely, informally.
Prem Bhav.
No, which pastime, as in which avatar, which Leela? Gaur Leela. In Gaur Leela, again, you can serve Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. But then again, that is Krishna and Balaram. So that's why that's not mentioned here. That's Swayam Krishna himself, right? The transcendental pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna are not newly accepted as argued by some less intelligent persons. His pastimes are eternal and are manifested in due course once in a day of Brahmaji, as the sun rises on the eastern horizon at the end of every 4 hours. All of you understand that Krishna comes as Swayam Rupa Krishna only once in the day of Brahma? This is very important to understand. Everybody knows this? Yes, no? In one day of Brahma, how many kalpas are there? How many manvantaras? What is one Divya Yuga? One Divya Yuga is 4 yugas. 4 yugas are called one Divya Yuga. And how many Divya Yugas in one Manvantara?
1000?
71.
71
Divya Yugas in one Manvantara. And how many Manvantaras? 14 Manvantaras. Which Manvantara are we in? Manvantara means what? Reign of one Manu. One Manu lives for one or rules for one Manvantara. Yeah. So there are 14 Manus. And that one Manvantara is 71 Divya Yugas. Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali is one Divya Yuga. There are 71 Divya Yugas. We are in which Manvantara? We are in the 7th Manvantara. And the Manu is Vaivasvata Manu, son of Vivaswan. We learned in the 4th chapter, Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, the sun god, Vivaswan. Krishna gave the knowledge to sun god Vivaswan. Vivaswan gave it to his son, Manu. That Manu is Vaivasvata. Son of Vivaswan is Vaivasvata. So the 7th Manu is Vaivasvata Manu. We are in the 7th Manvantara. And which is the Divya Yuga we are in?
Kali Yuga.
Which number Divya Yuga? 28th. So in the 71 of his lifetime of Vaivasvata, we are in the 28th Divya Yuga, Kali Yuga of the 28th. And when did Krishna come? End of which Yuga?
Dwapar.
Dwapar. Just now, right?
Yeah.
So now just imagine that in one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manvantaras. In the 7th Manvantara, in the 28th Divya Yuga, Dwapar Yuga of that Divya Yuga, only that Krishna comes, Swayam Rupa Krishna comes. In all the other Divya Yugas, now 71 Divya Yugas of Vaivasvata Manu, he doesn't come. All the other Manus, he doesn't come. 14 Manus, 13 Manus, he doesn't come. He only comes in Vaivasvata Manus, 28th Divya Yuga, at the end of Dwapar Yuga, he comes. So are you lucky or not to be in that Divya Yuga? Only once he comes in the day of Brahma. Only months. And you are born in that Divya Yuga, where he comes as himself, Swayam Rupa Krishna, and he comes as Lord Chaitanya. Now, what if you were born in the 27th Divya Yuga? Krishna doesn't come as himself. He's the expansion of Lord Narayan. So only Krishna, when he comes as Swayam Rupa Krishna, can take you back to Goloka. All the other Divya Yugas or the Manvantaras, which if you are born in, you can only go to Vaikuntha. Why? Because Narayan comes as Krishna. So Vaikuntha door is not open for you. You cannot. You can only go to Goloka Vrindavan. Sorry, Vaikuntha door is open, but Goloka door is not open for you. You can only go to Goloka if you're born in the 7th Manvantara, 28th Divya Yuga. And that too either in the Dwapar Yuga or in the Kali Yuga. Not before that. Can someone repeat it so that we just know we've got our numbers correct? It's a little technical, but understand it in a Krishna conscious way, that how lucky you are.
In the 7th Manvantara, 28th Divya Yuga, either at the end of Dwapar or in Kali Yuga.
Yes, so end of Dwapar he comes as Krishna, and then Kali Yuga he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Chaitanya.
Yes. So again, someone else can answer the same thing so that we are sure. Just once more, we can repeat it. Can someone else say the same thing? Or whatever you have written down in your notes.
One day of Brahma is Mataji 4 yugas. In that one Divya Yuga is 4 yugas.
No, my darling. One day of Brahma is not 4 yugas. 4 yugas is just one Divya Yuga.
Yeah, we are in 7th Manvantara. And Manu is Vivaswata, who is a son of Vivaswan. And we are in the 28th Divya Yuga. And in which 28th Divya Yuga, end of the Dwapar Yuga, Krishna himself appeared. And
Yes.
now we are in the Kali Yuga. And Kali
Yes.
Yuga, Lord Chaitanya has appeared.
Correct. So there are 14 Manvantaras. We are in the 7th, right? And we are in the 20th. So we're actually in the midday of Brahma. In one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manvantaras. We are in the 7th, and that too in the middle, 28th again. So we are in the afternoon, lunchtime of Brahma. He's just finished his lunch and he's woken up. So we are in midday. So again, wake up, because what are the odds? It is not by chance that you're born in this. It's because of your previous pious deeds and sukriti. So just wake up to Krishna consciousness and make this your last birth. Because if you're going to be born again, first of all, what are the odds you're going to be born again in Vaivasvata Manu's 28th Divya Yuga, Dwapar or Kali? Yeah, so, okay. So now what do we have to do for this now? So this is the portion 23 to 29. Now you've realized how lucky you are to be born in Vaivasvata Manu's 28th Divya Yuga. Now what are you going to do about it? So from 23 to 29, so Shukadev Goswami says how lucky we are and what we have to do. Right? Sattvam rajastama iti prakriter gunaster. I'll just read it, yeah? Yukta para purusha ekahi hasya datte sthitadye hari virinchi hareti samya shreyamsi tatra khalu sattvatanor niramshu. Someone can read the translation, please.
the transcendental personality of Godhead is indirectly associated with the three modes of material nature, namely passion, goodness, and ignorance, and just for the material world's creation, maintenance, and destruction. He accepts the three qualitative forms of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Of these three, all human beings can derive ultimate benefit from Vishnu, the form of the quality of goodness.
Yes, very nice. So, what does, so this is going to be a little of a recap of our Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. Indirectly associated with the three modes means what? Indirectly associated meaning he is
In the
the
form
creator.
of
Yes, in the form of, say,
Brahma,
yes.
Vishnu, and Mahesh.
No. That is
Is it the
there.
external potency
Yes,
as
indirectly
Maya?
associated. Maya is external energy, yes, but the three modes are what make us, right? I mean, that's what binds us, or that's what gives us our qualities. So when it talks about indirectly associated, it means that the Lord has created it. It is created by the Lord, but the Lord has nothing to do with it. Indirectly associated. His association with the three modes is that he has created it, but he's aloof from it. It doesn't affect him and it doesn't bind him. He just doesn't, he has no direct connection with it. In Bhagavad Gita, that's what Krishna says, that they are the three modes are my energy. I've created them, but I'm aloof from it. I'm not affected by it. I don't associate. That's indirect. Then Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva are the guna avatars. Right? So, of course, passion is Brahma because you need passion. When you're creating something, you need passion. And when you're destroying something, you need ignorance. Not ignorance as in it is tamas. Right? Ignorance is a half-baked word. So now these are the three qualitative forms, gunas, guna avatars of the Lord. Again, what are these? Out of these three, which is the topmost?
Sattva.
Sattva.
Vishnu.
Guna,
Sattva.
yeah.
Vishnu.
Better, yeah. So the verses which are going to come is going to establish how sattva guna is the best. So therefore, the most benefit you achieve is from worshipping Lord Vishnu. Even if you worship Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, eventually they will push you to worshipping Lord Vishnu, and then only you will achieve the benefit. Okay. That Lord Sri Krishna, by his plenary paths, should be rendered devotional service as explained above, is confirmed by this statement. Lord Sri Krishna and all his plenary paths are Vishnu Tattva, or the Lordship of Godhead. Yeah, so we talked about Vishnu Tattva. From Sri Krishna, the next manifestation is Baladev. From Baladev is Sankarshan. From Sankarshan is Narayan. From Narayan is the second Sankarshan. And from this Sankarshan is the Vishnu Purusha avatars. So when they talk about, so the first expansion we all know is Lord Baladev. First expansion. After that, Lord Baladev takes care of every other expansion. The Lord does not do anything. So Lord Balaram is exactly like Krishna, only his complexion is like white crystal. He has exactly all the powers, he has everything, but his mood is of a servant. Right? Now, when we're talking about this Sankarshan, we're talking about the first Chaturvyuha. Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. So Vasudev comes straight from Krishna. From Baladev comes Sankarshan. From Sankarshan comes again the next Chaturvyuha. Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. All these have different functions. From that second Chaturvyuha, Sankarshan comes Karanodakshai Vishnu. From Pradyumna comes Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And from Aniruddha comes Kshirodakshai Vishnu. Now, why is all this important to know? If you don't know the hierarchy, if you don't establish, you don't have that in your head that Sri Krishna Swayam Rupa Bhagwan, you will be worshipping everyone and everything. Isn't that what happens sometimes? You know, some people I met, they say, Krishna sab ek hi to hai, sab. Everyone same. Went to someone's house the other day, I don't know, Sheetala Mata. Do you all do Sheetala Mata Vrat or something? Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it, but don't do.
Huh? You heard of it?
Heard of it.
Huh.
But don't do.
Okay. Because I never heard of it. We don't have that in South India. We haven't heard. Maybe it's more for North India. In South India, we have our own different Amman. So she said that, ek hi baat hai, Sheetala Mata, Krishna, sab ek hi to hai. I was like, which scripture says that? It has to be established, right? So we have to establish, we should know all the tattvas, we should know what is the, yes, Sankarshan is Krishna. Yes, they all come from Krishna. But Krishna Swayam Rupa, he is the avatari. Yes, they are all Vishnu Tattva, yes. But who's the avatari? Vishnu. The Vishnu or the deity of quality of goodness in the material world is the Purusha avatar known as Kshirodakshai Vishnu or Paramatma. So the Guna avatar Vishnu is who? Who?
Kshirodakshai Vishnu.
Yes. Brahma is the deity of Rajas and Shiva of ignorance. They are the three departmental heads of the three qualities of this material world. What is the function of Paramatma? Bhagavad Gita
He
gives.
sits in everyone's heart.
And does what? What does he do?
Take care of all the three departmental heads.
The ultimate beneficiary of, I think there's some sloka which says that, right? He's the ultimate beneficiary of everything. So he's the ultimate enjoyer of everything.
That is Krishna, but
Right.
what does Kshirodakshai? Okay, it's written over here that Guna Avatar Vishnu is actually Kshirodakshai Vishnu. Who's the Paramatma? Paramatma we know resides in our heart. But what does Paramatma do in our heart?
He's the Chaitya Guru. Hare Krishna, Dhanur Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hari Hari, welcome back.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm like really late, but
No problem. Yes, he is the Chaitya Guru. But apart from that, what is his function? What does he do? He is the
He's the super soul who's residing in the heart.
Yes, yes, that's his identification. Now, what is his function?
His function is to take
to guide us.
Hmm.
He's the witness of all our actions.
Witness. Oh, yes, that is the word I'm looking. He is the witness. So he is recording everything you do, you think, you wish, you desire, your hate, your grudges, your everything. And he's noting it down. And then what does he do? He's the witness. He witnesses and he sanctions.
Sanctions.
Two functions. Please remember. Kshirodakshai Vishnu is sitting in your heart. Yes. But he's not just sitting there because he has no other work or he has no other place to sit. कहीं और कुछ काम है नहीं, चलो भारती के दिल में जाके बैठ जाता हूँ, है ना भारती? No, he's sitting there because he wants to see what Bharti is doing, and he wants to sanction what is due to her according to her karma. Nothing else. He does not give you more nor less. He gives you pakka. No cheating anywhere. But remember, he is not only witnessing your actions, he is also witnessing your words, your thoughts, your desires, your hatred, your deep, dark secrets, everything. So even that thoughts which are coming inside, outside you may be saying differently, but inside you is like, oh my God, I hope she just, so horrible, no? But outside, oh, you're so sweet. No, he knows everything. And it's all noting down. It's all noting down. Yeah, so you have to be clean, internal and external.
Aditi, does it mean Paramatma only will decide whether at the time of death we will remember Krishna or no?
Yeah. Yeah. See, Paramatma is like in Shvetashvara Upanishad, where an analogy is given of those two birds sitting on a branch. You remember? Someone remembers that? It's there in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, I think 2.11 or something, purport. I'm not sure. Talks about two birds sitting on the branch of a tree. One bird is so busy looking here, there, everywhere. And the other bird is looking at the other bird, waiting for that bird to turn towards the bird. But the other bird is so busy looking here, there, everywhere. It has no time to look at the first bird. The first bird is the super soul, Paramatma. The other one is us, Jivatma. We're so busy doing everything else. But the moment we look at the Paramatma, that is, moment we turn inwards. It's a very Christian word, turning inwards. But actually it is turning inwards. It's a very beautifully coined word. Turning inwards means becoming spiritually inclined. The moment we turn towards Krishna, which is turning towards Paramatma, it's the same thing, then Paramatma does everything possible to make you more and more spiritually conscious. So the Paramatma knows how much sadhana you've done and how much you have not done, how much you have cheated, how really you want to get out of this miserable material world, and how much you want to stay here. Accordingly, sanction. But there's someone who can supersede that sanction also. And who is that?
Guru?
Yes, Guru. Guru's presence in your life supersedes everything. Not just Guru, any devotee. If at the time of your death, if you have a devotee, why do people have devotees surrounding them? Because devotees will definitely chant, right? So, but there are situations where everything seems to be like, yes, a devotee will be there, this, that, and all. But right at the time of, if you don't deserve it, right at the time of leaving the body, the devotee has just walked out of the room. I'll just come in a minute, drink water and come. The person has left the body. So you cannot cheat Krishna. You cannot. You only get what you deserve. You will get, he's witnessing everything and he's sanctioning everything. Yeah. They are the three departmental heads of the three qualities of this material world. Creation is made possible by Brahma's quality of passion and his endeavor. It is maintained by the goodness of Vishnu and it requires to be destroyed. And Lord Shiva does it by the Tandavantriya. Tandavantriya. What is that? Okay. The materialists and the foolish human beings worship Brahma and Shiva respectively. But the pure transcendentalists worship the form of goodness, Vishnu, in his various forms. Vishnu is manifested by his millions and billions of integrated forms and separated forms. The integrated forms are called Godhead and the separated forms are called the living entities or the Jivas. Both the Jivas and Godhead have their original spiritual forms. What does this mean? Anyone? Yeah, anyone can tell me? What does this sentence mean? You just try to see, this is how we should scrutinizingly read Srila Prabhupada's purpose. Then we get more knowledge.
Sorry, Mataji, I missed it. Can you repeat it, please?
Okay. One sec. I'm just going to, yeah, one sec. Okay, so this is what I was saying. The materialists and foolish human beings worship Brahma and Shiva respectively, but the pure transcendentalists worship the form of goodness, Vishnu, in his various forms. Vishnu is manifested by his millions and billions of integrated forms and separated forms. The integrated forms are called Godhead and the separated forms are called Jivas. Both Jivas and Godhead have their original spiritual forms. What do you understand by that, I asked?
So all the Jivas also were originally in the spiritual world, so they have their own Swarup, but they've forgotten it because they've come in touch with the material energy. And Godhead, of course, are already spiritual and transcendental.
Yes. So every avatar of the Lord comes from Swayam Rupa Krishna. And you know, when Krishna, like I just now said, when Krishna comes as Swayam Rupa Krishna, all these forms come and merge into him. When he comes, when he descends in this material world, they come and merge into him because they all want to serve him. It is there in 10th canto, in the appearance of Lord Sri Krishna, the Kshirodakshai, Garbhodakshai, all of them come and enter this baby Krishna form, Swayam Rupa form. So what Srila Prabhupada says that we also have our Swarupa Roop, right? We have our eternal constitutional original form in the eternal spiritual world. And so do all these avatars. They all have their eternal planets. Each avatar has their own planet. They all come from Goloka, which is the topmost planet. But then each of them have their own. There is a separate planet for Matsya, separate for Lord Nrsimha, separate for Varaha, separate for Lord Ram, which is Ayodhya Dham, separate for every incarnation. Whatever incarnation is there, they all have a separate eternal form in the spiritual world. That's what he's meaning, right? Jivas are sometimes subjected to the control of material energy, but the Vishnu forms are always controllers of this energy. Material energy cannot control them. When Vishnu, the personality of Godhead, appears in the material world, he comes to deliver the conditioned living beings who are under the material energy. Such living beings appear in the material world with intentions of being lords, and thus they become entrapped in the three modes of nature. As such, the living entities have to change their material coverings for undergoing different terms of imprisonment. The prison house of the material world is created by Brahma under instruction of the personality of Godhead, and at the conclusion of a kalpa, the whole thing is destroyed by Shiva. So there is a inundation. There is a destruction at the end of one day of Brahma. That is a kalpa. Right? But as far as maintenance of the prison house is concerned, it is done by Vishnu, as much as the state prison house is maintained by the state. Anyone, therefore, who wishes to get out of this prison house of material existence, which is full of miseries like repetition of birth, death, disease, and old age, must please Lord Vishnu for such liberation. So what is established here? Brahma and Shiva are meant for creation and destruction. But if you want to get out, you have to go to Lord Vishnu. Yeah. Very simple. If anyone has to continue prison life in the material world, he may ask for relative facilities for temporary relief from different demigods like Shiva, Brahma, Indra, and Varuna. That's so nice. If you want any kind of special treatment, you go to them. No demigod, however, can release the imprisoned living being from the conditioned life of material existence. This can be only done by Vishnu. So therefore, what does the translation say? Ultimate benefit can only come from Lord Vishnu. So what is the ultimate benefit? What is the ultimate benefit?
Release
out
from
of
the cycle of
the
birth and death.
birth and death.
Yes, liberation is the ultimate benefit. Absolutely. So very nicely, Srila Prabhupada has given the argument of why we should go to approach Lord Vishnu. What are the roles of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, even though the three are the Gunavatars, and only he can give us liberation. That is the ultimate good. Yeah. I'm going to ask questions at the end of class today. Text 24. Parthivadaruno dhumas tasmadagnis traimaya tamasastu rajas tasmad sattvam yat brahma darshanam. So we're still talking about the three gunas. Firewood is so this is an analogy of which is better, right? Firewood is a transformation of earth, but smoke is better than raw wood, and fire is still better, for by fire we can derive the benefits of superior knowledge through Vedic sacrifices. So the analogy here is firewood. So, of course, wood comes from earth, right? I mean, it's a transformation of earth. But smoke, instead of just wood, smoke is better. But better than smoke is fire. If you want to cook, you can't cook on smoke. If you want to do a yagya, you can't do it on just smoke, right? So here they are saying that if you want to derive the benefits of superior knowledge through a yagya, you need fire. Just having firewood is not enough. So therefore, firewood is tamagun, smoke is rajagun, fire is sattvagun. So which is the best? Fire, which is
Sattvagun.
sattvagun. So goodness, similarly, passion is better than ignorance, but goodness is the best because by goodness, one can come to realize the absolute truth. I think in the previous class, I talked to you about how you must establish yourself in sattvagun, right? I think in the Bhagavad Gita class, I spoke to you about it, or maybe another class, I'm not sure. That from passion, at least even rajas is okay, but devotees should never be in tamas. In the 17th chapter, if you want, you can read it and you can see all the qualities and food and activities, qualities, food, activities in tamagun. Should not be in that. At least rajagun is easier. But you must establish yourself in sattva because, again, Bhagavatam says sattvagun is the best. Okay. I'm just going to read the last para. The uncivilized state of life or the life of lower animals is controlled by the mode of tamas. The civilized life of man with a passion for various types of material benefits is the stage of Rajas. The Rajas stage of life gives a slight clue to the realization of absolute truth in the forms of fine sentiments in philosophy, art, culture, moral, ethical principles. But the mode of Sattva is still a higher stage of material quality, which actually helps one in realizing the absolute truth. In other words, there is a qualitative difference between the different kinds of worshipping methods as well, as the respective results derived from the predominating deities, namely Brahma, Vishnu, and Hara. Hara means Vishnu, Shiva. Yeah, so what is Srila Prabhupada says here? Mode of Sattva is the higher stage of material quality where you helps you realizing absolute truth. I'll just stop sharing here. Therefore, it is very, very important to establish yourself from Rajas to Sattva. Tamas, if you're in Tamagun, it's very difficult. Very, very difficult. Unless you get Sukriti from a pure devotee. I mean, the examples are so many hippies, and they were doing all kinds of abominable activities, which was completely Tamagun. But from Tamagun, they've not only come to Sattva, they've established themselves in Shuddha Sattva also. If it's not by the blessing of a pure devotee, it won't be possible. And also we should understand that all these gurus and swamis who are there were all in the previous lifetime already eternally serving the Lord or Srila Prabhupada in his mission. And they were born in these different countries because they had to fulfill a purpose. So it's not that, they're foreign body, but still how did it happen? No, they actually also pure devotees. And they were born there to fulfill a certain mission, to spread Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message all over the world. So they were all sent to such places and they were born there, and they had Purva Samskaras of being devotees. They were born to houses where they were doing all this abominable, but then they burnt their karma. Very young age, they came and they left their homes, they came into the temple, they started chanting, and now they're all in Shuddha Sattva. They're so exalted. So it's all for the purpose. The Lord, for his purpose, can make you be born in any body, any planet, any family. If he feels that by doing so, the mission will spread, then he will. So you have to be prepared and only pray that wherever you are, you never forget the Lord. That is the prayer you must always have. In whatever situation you are, you should always have remembrance of the Lord.